So then my friends, at the moment we have quite a nice workflow going on. We're currently using a VS Code package over here called Live Server to spin up a local development server so we can actually preview the project in a browser. At the minute I'm going to stop that and I'll tell you why in a second. And we're also using the Webpack command with a watch flag down here to capture any changes and rebundle our code. So this is all nice. But it would be even better if we could reduce those two separate tasks, running the live server from here using that package and also running the Webpack command into one single task. And we can do all of this using the Webpack Dev Server. So that's why I stopped the live server over here, because now we're going to use the Webpack Dev Server to actively listen for changes inside our files and to spin up a local development server so we can preview this in the browser. So the first thing we need to do is actually install the Webpack Dev Server. So let's do this down here. We say npm install, and we're going to install the Webpack-dev-server at 3.2.1. That's the version number. So press enter, and that's installing this for us now. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is configure that Webpack Dev Server inside the Webpack config file over here. So to do that, we need another property. So let me come to the end here where we do this stuff and do a comma. And then this property is called dev server like so. And this is an object. Now inside this object, we have two different properties. The first one is going to be the content base. And this is going to be an absolute path, which is going to tell the Webpack Dev Server where the base directory is that we want to serve up to the browser. So what we're going to do is say path.resolve, because this is an absolute path from the root of our computer. Then in brackets, we're going to say __dir_name, and we're going to pass the second one in, which is our dist folder. So this is the folder we want to serve up to the browser, right, where the index file is. So we're getting the dir name to get us to the project root, and then we're joining that with the dist folder right here. So that's what we're serving up to the browser now. Now the second property down here is going to be the public path property. And this tells Webpack where the actual assets, i.e. the JavaScript, are being served up from. So that is from this assets folder right here. So we don't need to do the whole path like this stuff and this stuff. We just need to say the path from inside the distribution folder. And that is going to be inside the assets folder. So /assets/. So we need to tell this to the Webpack server, because when it serves up our files inside this public path to the browser, it doesn't actually serve up the real physical files inside it. Instead, what it does is serve up virtual files that it stores in memory, and it uses this file path to serve them, because this is the file path that we link to from our index.html file right here. So this speeds up the Webpack Dev Server because it doesn't have to manually write a new file to our distribution folder every time we make a change. So then, now we've configured the Webpack Dev Server, we just need to run it. So I'm going to save it over here, and I'm going to come to the package.json file to make a new script. And this one is going to be called serve. And inside here, we're just going to say Webpack-dev-server. That's all we need to do. We could just type this down here instead, but we're going to write npm run serve. So if I save this now, what I'm going to do is come down here and say npm run serve. That is going to run the Webpack Dev Server, and it's going to do the rest of the things for us as well. It's going to bundle up all of our JavaScript and output the file, but it's only going to do that in memory using virtual files. So let me run this now, serve. And now we can see this is served successfully. If we just scroll up a bit, up here, we're going to see this thing right here. So that is where the local development server is now running. So if I Control+click this, then we're going to see this over here. I can inspect and go to the console, and we can get rid of that error. Let me just refresh. And now we can see everything still runs the same way. Now the Webpack Dev Server is automatically watching for file changes. We don't need to add on the W flag. So I can test this by coming to one of our files like index.js, and I'm going to change this to test2. I'm going to save that, and automatically it's going to rebundle the code into a virtual file and serve that up. So we can now see test2. There is one problem though. Like I've been saying, when we run the Webpack Dev Server, it serves the assets, i.e. the JavaScript, as virtual files. It does not rebuild all of our files and put them into bundle.js physically. Now I can demo this. What I'm going to do is come to bundle.js and I'm going to delete all of this stuff. Now I'm going to come to index and say test3 and I'm going to save it. Now this should again run all of our Webpack config and bundle up our files, but if I go to bundle.js, in fact I can close this off and open it again, there is still nothing there. So it's not bundled it up and output it physically to this file. All it's done is created a virtual file which is serving up from this path. So when we view it in a browser, we can still see the same results and we can still see all of this logged to the console because it's serving that virtual file, that virtual JavaScript file, but we don't see it inside bundle.js. There is no physical manifestation of it. Now this is great for development because it speeds things up for us every time we make a save, but it's not so good when we come to deploy the application because there's nothing here. So we're going to take a look at that problem in the next lecture.